Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes has 16 assists. What's crazy to me is he's 31 years old. You could argue he's right now in his prime, and he's chasing the assist record of Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne at 20 assists.
If you look at the stats, Bruno Fernandes is unstoppable. With goals, assists, and chances created, he looks like one of the best midfielders in the world. But watch the actual games, and it starts to feel different. To many fans, Bruno isn't a genius. He is a problem. He is a high-risk gambler who gives the ball away as much as he creates magic. In a modern game built on control and precision, Bruno brings chaos. There are matches where his pass accuracy drops into the 70s, and for every brilliant pass, there are others that go straight to the opponent, putting United under pressure again. So the doubt grows. Is he truly elite, or just reckless? Then comes the second accusation, his numbers. Some believe his stats are inflated by penalties, easy assists, and big performances in comfortable wins. But when the pressure rises, when United need control, critics say Bruno brings chaos instead. And maybe the biggest issue isn't even his play, but his leadership, the constant complaints, the reactions, and the body language. Instead of lifting the team, many believe he brings the energy down. So now the real question is clear. Is Bruno Fernandes carrying Manchester United or holding them back?
What I like most about him, he's been available for Man United his entire career. He's rarely been injured, right? He's been on the field all the time. There's been an argument about him being a captain and sort of his attitude and how he reacts in the arm, throwing up the arms. I'd rather have an emotional player than one that looks like if you cut the guy, he wouldn't bleed.
Right.
Now let's flip the story, because the numbers tell a completely different truth. While critics focus on Bruno's chaos, the reality is this. He is producing at a level almost no one in the Premier League can match. In the 2025-26 season, Bruno Fernandes has already recorded 16 assists and created over 20 big chances, putting him at the very top of the league. These aren't just normal passes. These are clear-cut, game-changing opportunities of the kind strikers are expected to score. Then there's the most important that most fans ignore. Expected assists. Bruno consistently ranks at the top, which proves one thing. His creativity is real. It's not luck, and it's not stat padding. It's elite vision. In fact, his expected assist is often higher than his actual assists, which tells you something even deeper. His teammates are missing chances he creates. And here's where it gets even more interesting. While other top players deal with injuries, rotation, or dips in form, Bruno is always there, week in and week out. He is creating, pressing, and demanding the ball. He doesn't disappear, he doesn't rest, and he doesn't get replaced. He is the system. So when you really look at it, the question changes. If a player is consistently leading in chance creation, assists, and attacking output in one of the toughest leagues in the world, can you really call him overrated? Or are we just ignoring greatness because it doesn't look perfect? Because in a league full of stars, Bruno Fernandes is still delivering at the highest level. This is not normal. This is elite. Now here's where everything changes, because the eye test can be very misleading. If you judge Bruno Fernandes from short clips, one bad pass, or one last ball, it's easy to think he's careless. But that's not the full story. The truth is, Bruno plays one of the hardest roles in football right now. First, consider the so-called Hollywood passes. Critics say he's wasteful. But what they don't understand is this. Bruno is not asked to play safe. He's not there to complete simple 5-yard passes and boost his accuracy. He is the one responsible for breaking lines, unlocking defenses, and forcing something out of nothing. Every risky pass he attempts has a purpose. If he doesn't take that risk, Manchester United often creates nothing. So yes, he loses the ball, but he's also the only one trying to create magic. Then there's the system around him. It's easy to look clean and efficient when you're surrounded by structure, movement, and world-class support. But at Manchester United, that structure hasn't always been consistent. There are moments when Bruno is playing passes into spaces where teammates should be, but aren't. He sees runs before they happen. He thinks faster than the system around him. When those moves don't connect, it makes him look careless when, in reality, he's just ahead of everyone else. This leads to the most important point, the gap between expected assists and actual assists. Bruno doesn't just create chances, he creates big chances. These are clear opportunities that should end in goals. But time and time again, those chances are missed. Shots go wide and chances are wasted. What should be another assist on his record simply disappears. That's why his expected assist is always higher. It proves he's doing his job at an elite level, even when the final result doesn't show it. So when people say Bruno loses the ball too much, They're only seeing half the picture. They're seeing the risk but ignoring the responsibility. They're seeing the mistakes but ignoring the creativity. Because the truth is simple. Bruno Fernandes doesn't look messy because he's poor. He looks messy because he's doing what others are afraid to do. He takes the risks. He forces the game forward. He carries the creative burden of an entire team. In football, that kind of responsibility will never look perfect, but it is necessary. He looks wasteful because he tries what others don't dare.
They play or not, but this guy's been great. To Charlie's point, I don't know if it's been wasted. There's a huge advantage. He takes free kicks, right? So he's got guys that get on the end of things. So the assists are going to look, the numbers are always going to be good. What I like most about him, he's been available for Man United his entire career.
Now let's talk about the part nobody wants to mention, the work rate. While people focus on Bruno's flair, his risks, and even his frustration on the pitch, they completely ignore the engine behind it all. Bruno Fernandes is not a luxury player. He's a workhorse. First, his pressing. In a single season, Bruno has recorded close to 600 pressures in the middle third. That's not normal for an attacking midfielder. That's the level of a defensive engine. He doesn't just wait for the ball. He hunts it. He's often the one triggering the press, setting the intensity, and forcing mistakes from the opposition. So when people call him lazy, it doesn't match the data. He runs, he fights, and he works harder than most players in his position. Then there's his durability. In modern football, top players miss games constantly due to injuries, rotations, or load management. But Bruno, he's always there. Since joining Manchester United, he has barely missed games through injury. Week after week, competition after competition, he plays. And not just as a starter, he finishes games. 90 minutes, again and again. Whether it's a small cup match or a big European night, Bruno is on the pitch. The ultimate irony in the Bruno Fernandes debate is that we are judging a creator by the standards of a controller. In today's football, we've become obsessed with 90-pass completion, midfielders like Rodri, Declan Rice, or Toni Kroos. But that isn't Bruno's job. He's not here to preserve possession. He's here to create chances and to end possession with a shot or a goal. To call Bruno Fernandes overrated is to ignore the heaviest carrying job in the Premier League. He isn't reckless, and he isn't lazy. He's the engine that keeps Manchester United moving when everything else falters. Underrated? Absolutely. Because we've started valuing safety over genius. He is a creator, a workhorse, and a leader. The chaos you see isn't carelessness. It's genius under pressure. The mistakes aren't a flaw. They're the price of brilliance. So, what's the final verdict on Bruno Fernandes? He isn't just a stat padder or a chaotic gambler. He is a creator, a workhorse, and a leader, the kind of player who carries a struggling team on his shoulders while still producing elite-level numbers season after season. The chaos you see isn't carelessness, it's genius under pressure. The mistakes aren't a flaw, they're the price of brilliance. Bruno Fernandes doesn't fit the mold of the modern safe midfielder, and that's exactly why casual observers misunderstand him. The truth is simple. He's underrated, underappreciated, and absolutely essential for Manchester United. If you agree that Bruno is underrated, hit that like button and share this video with fellow football fans who still doubt him. Comment below, do you think Bruno is a genius or just a gambler? And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive football analysis that cuts through the hype and tells the real story.